You might get comments about how the plan is risky or out of reach. It can unsettle you. But what if you had kept those plans to yourself a bit longer? This approach isn't about being secretive just for the sake of it. It's about protecting your energy and your vision so you can develop it fully before others weigh in or even try to block you. Robert Greene suggests that when you reveal your intentions too soon, you risk losing the element of surprise. Others can start preparing their counter moves. They can criticize or create roadblocks that throw you off your path. By holding back certain details, you preserve your freedom to adjust your plan without facing too many outside voices. Consider how in some situations people are quick to offer advice or warnings. They might mean well, but they can fill your head with new doubts. If your plan is still growing, it may get knocked down by too many opinions. When you share your idea too early, you might also inspire jealousy. If your idea is exciting or potentially profitable, those who hear about it might try to get there first, or they could discourage you to keep you from gaining an advantage. When your intentions remain private, these risks become smaller because people remain uncertain about your next move. Think about the times you've watched a performer or athlete who seems to come out of nowhere with a breathtaking new style. Part of the reason they seem so remarkable is that nobody saw them coming. They kept practicing out of the spotlight, gathering the tools they needed without announcing it to the world. Then, at just the right moment, they revealed their hard work. By doing so, they kept control of the narrative around their performance. In your own life, you can mirror this method by refining your goals and planning your steps in private. That doesn't mean you have to lock yourself away completely. You can still gather insights from people you trust, but you don't have to open the door for everyone to see what you're doing. This does not imply you should lie or manipulate others. You can remain honest in your daily dealings. But you're simply choosing not to expose every next step. Some people might ask you for details about your future plans, and you can keep your answers general. If someone presses you for specifics, you can navigate the conversation by focusing on broad goals rather than diving into the details. This gives you breathing space to shift direction if you discover a better way forward. When you protect your plans, you give yourself time to study what's happening around you. Maybe you notice new developments or opportunities that you didn't see before. If your intentions were public, you might feel pressure to stick to your original path, even if it starts looking less promising. By keeping things to yourself, you can pivot without worrying about outside criticism or letting others down. You won't be locked into a single track or forced to explain why you changed course. You also want to maintain a certain unpredictability. If people can't guess your next move, they are less likely to stand in your way. This can even protect you from those who might take advantage of your open book nature. In a work setting, for example, if everyone knows you're aiming for a promotion, some colleagues might use that information against you. They could try to appear more qualified or highlight your weaknesses to your bosses. By being discreet, you keep your advantage. You choose the time and manner in which you present yourself and your achievements. In personal relationships, people often share exciting plans with close friends or family because it feels good to talk about what you're aiming for. But even then, it's wise to be mindful. If you're starting a new business, too many opinions could cloud your judgment. You might feel unsure whether you're shaping your plan to please yourself or to address other people's concerns. By limiting how much you reveal, you gain the space to discover what truly matters to you without confusion from outside voices. Sometimes we also reveal our plans in hopes of getting praise or support. It's natural to want encouragement, but early praise can distract us from the work that needs to be done. We might feel satisfied too soon and lose the drive to push ourselves harder. At the same time, if people respond with negativity, it could demotivate us at a stage when we're most vulnerable. So it's best to focus on the process. Let results speak for themselves later on. When the plan is more solid, you can share it confidently, knowing you're ready to handle whatever feedback comes your way. There is also a psychological component to not revealing your plans. When you keep certain things to yourself, people can't read you as easily. They wonder what you're up to and might even doubt their assumptions about you. This can shift the power dynamic in subtle ways. It's not about being secretive to intimidate others, but about preserving your sense of control. When you leave others guessing, they can't plan around your intentions or weaken your initiative before it has a chance to grow. In everyday life, you can apply this mindset in small ways. If you're working on a personal project, resist the urge to post about every step on social media. Enjoy the process without seeking immediate validation. If you're negotiating a contract or salary, don't reveal your ideal number too quickly. Give yourself room to see how the other side approaches it. If you're studying a new skill, take your time before announcing it to everyone. Let your new ability become strong enough to handle scrutiny. Some people confuse this approach with hiding who you are. But it's not about hiding your true self. It's about knowing what to share and when. You still act with integrity and treat others with respect. You simply avoid showing your entire hand before you're ready. Think of it as a strategic discipline. It's similar to how an artist might not reveal a half-finished painting. The incomplete work might lead to misconceptions or rushed judgments. By waiting until the piece is near completion, the artist can showcase it as intended, free from outside distortions. Imagine you have a coworker who is always anxious to know your next step. They might fish for information by bringing up the topic in casual conversation. They could even try to pressure you by mentioning office gossip. In these moments, try to smile and give polite, short replies. Shift the focus back onto them, or keep the conversation light. Over time, people may accept that you aren't going to share every detail of what you're doing, and that's perfectly fine. You aren't being rude. You're just staying focused on your process. Of course, there can be a point when it's necessary to reveal your plan. This usually happens when you need teamwork or cooperation from others, or when it's time to present the finished product. At that stage, you might be fully prepared, so it becomes safer to let people see your ideas. Because you waited, you can also handle questions or criticisms more calmly. You've already tested the plan yourself, found the weak spots and strengthened it. Now, if someone tries to poke holes in it, you're ready with answers. One benefit of waiting to share your plans is that you learn patience. We live in a world where many feel a constant urge to broadcast everything they're doing. Holding back can feel unnatural, but it helps you concentrate on getting real progress done. You avoid the rush to satisfy curiosity or gain approval, and instead use your energy to shape something worthwhile. When you do finally reveal your plan, it arrives with a sense of confidence and completeness that captures attention more effectively than if people had seen it in bits and pieces. Keeping your plans under wraps also allows you to stay flexible. If you encounter setbacks, you can adjust without people feeling disappointed or trying to steer you in a different direction. After all, they don't know every detail. If you need more time, you can take it. If you change some aspects of your plan, you won't have to explain yourself to those who thought you were headed down another path. By controlling the flow of information, you remain the main driver of your vision rather than letting the expectations of others force your hand. In the end, not revealing your plans until they're ready isn't about being secretive for selfish reasons. It's about giving yourself a shield against doubt, envy, or even sabotage. It's about nurturing your ideas privately so they can grow strong. When you finally decide to share them, you do so on your own terms. You decide what details to give and how much of your hard work you want people to see. This keeps you in the driver's seat, guided by a calm mind and a solid grip on your aspirations. Robert Greene's perspective reminds us that mystery can be a form of protection and a tool for success. Being open-hearted in personal matters can still exist alongside strategic thinking in your ambitions. You don't have to lock away your entire life, but simply realize that some plans deserve to be kept in the dark until they're powerful enough to shine on their own. By following this idea, you safeguard your dreams and keep your advantage. You become the author of your story, revealing each chapter exactly when it needs to be told.